What's good, YouTube? I am your guy, the BowTie Fragrance Guy. I love to talk about fragrances on this channel because fragrances, to me, are the easiest way that you can upgrade your personal marketability, your personal overall aura. Like, we can go to the gym, but sometimes it takes some time for us to show changes in our bodies and things of that nature. But of course, being more in shape can enhance your overall aesthetic, but it could take time. Spraying on a fragrance takes a couple of seconds. And again, that can give you that instant boost to just your personal overall marketability. And that's why I love talking about fragrances on this channel. So we also throw in some style tips as well. It's not just about how you smell, but how you look. Throw in some grooming tips. So if you want to smell good and you want to look good every day, I think you found the right channel. Make sure you show that you're interested by hitting subscribe. Now, don't forget to enable notifications by hitting the bell icon as well. So anytime a new video is uploaded on the channel, you'll be one of the first people to get notified. All right, guys, you know how we do. The professor is here. Get out your pens, your papers, whatever it is that you use to write with, get them out. Class is in session. I'm going to teach you today how you can take your fragrance game from an F to an A. Now, I know in school sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, but I want to make it a little bit easier for you guys as it pertains to your fragrance wardrobe by giving you some amazing fragrances that, quite frankly, not a lot of people talk about, and that are definitely, in my opinion, an upgrade to especially a lot of these clone and designer fragrances that a lot of you guys are gravitating towards. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. If you want to stand out a lot of time to take your fragrance game to the next level, sometimes it's good to find some alternate, fragrances that not everybody else is wearing. That's one of the easiest ways to stand out. So I have 10 amazing fragrances for you today. So I'm going to run the intro. And when we come back, that's what we're going to be talking about. Take your fragrance game from an F to an A. If you want to hear my thoughts and see what fragrances I have to recommend, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into the video. But my first order of business is always to remind my subscribers, because we have newer subscribers every day. You may not be aware that I did an ebook. It is called The Gentleman's Blueprint, where you can get some additional tips, some additional knowledge to maybe draw some inspiration to do exactly what I just talked about. Upgrade that personal marketability, man, by becoming a modern day gentleman. It's a great read, and it's $9. I'll always have it linked to this video. So if you haven't gotten it yet, what is you waiting for? Check it out, click the link, and help and support the channel and help support your boy and purchase the ebook, The Gentleman's Blueprint. You'll be glad that you did. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to talk about, it comes from the brand of Clive Christian. Now, Clive Christian is I wouldn't say super popular brand, but amongst folks that have a little bit more cash flow, they definitely are conscious of this brand. There are quite a few really good fragrances from this brand, but I don't think anybody really talks about this, and this is a really great fragrance. So again, the type of fragrance, if you grab it, it's definitely gonna be an upgrade from a lot of fragrances that fall into that gourmand category. And this is Clive Christian E Gourmand. So this is a gourmand oriental fragrance. What you're gonna get from this one for the most part is rum, cloves, cinnamon. There's this like maple syrup accord in here and labdanum. This stuff is really, really, really good, man. Like I said, booziness from rum in here. So you definitely, if you're a person that loves boozy fragrances, you're definitely gonna pick some of that up in this composition. And it is loaded with spices. Like I said, cloves, cinnamon, some of my favorites. And like I said, this is one of those fragrances that a lot of people don't talk about. This one from Clive Christian. You hear a lot about, 1870. This is fantastic. You hear a lot about 1872, which is really, really good. I talk a lot about, you know, the amber fragrance that they have that is really, really, really good. But this is one of those that kind of flies under the radar and it smells fantastic. If you're a gourmand fragrance lover, I think you'll really enjoy this one. Boozy rum up top. Again, a host of just these really nice warm spices, primarily cloves and cinnamon. And then, of course, you get that maple syrupy kind of accord on a dry down, which kind of, you know, gives it the classification of gourmand with a beautiful resinous labdanum dry down. Stuff is so good, guys. Not a lot of people talk about it, but it's one of those fragrances that will really, really help you stand out. Check this one out. This is from the brand of Clive Christian. Definitely got a little smokiness to it as well. This is called Clive Christian E, and this is their gourmand. It's called Gourmand Oriental. Check it out. Guys, remember, I always try to link as many of these fragrances as I can to the video. So if you look down in the corner, I think it says products. If you click on products, I've done all the work for you. I found these fragrances, the best price that I could, and I've attached them to the video. So if you want to check anything out, thank me later. The work has already been done for you. Now, this next fragrance, it is starting to warm up outside. And this fragrance is another one that, if you're looking for that kind of fresh, citrusy fragrance that fall into that category, into that genre, this fragrance is one that nobody talks about. And I'm going to tell you why it's so great in just a moment. But this is from the brand of Royal Crown, and this one is called Celebration. This one is called Celebration. What you get with Celebration is mint, rosemary, iris, oak moss, and this note of cypress. Note of cypress. So that combination in the opening is really what this fragrance is about. The mint in the fragrance, as I've said this before, because I've talked about this fragrance before, the mint in the opening is one of the most photorealistic mint notes I've ever gotten. To the point that when you spray this fragrance on your skin, you start to get almost this cooling sensation, as you are probably accustomed to. Have you ever really experienced true mint? Like, you picked up mint leaves, and mint gives a cooling sensation. When you spray this fragrance on your skin for the first few moments, it's going to give you that cooling effect. Now, the rosemary comes in here as well, which kind of contributes to that minty nuance that you're going to get in the opening of the fragrance. Like I said, it's just a very, very beautiful, citrusy, aromatic fragrance that's great for the warm weather. And again, it's something that nobody else is going to really smell like. I can tell you one of these things, this is one of those fragrances that fall into that fresher scent profile. Again, a citrus fragrance that really has some teeth to it, so it gets some pretty good performance. Again, some iris comes in there. As it dries down, you get some oak moss in here as well. It's an amazing fragrance. So check into something like this, guys. Stand out, do something different. Take your fragrance game from an F to an A. Check out something like this from the brand of Royal Crown, Celebration. All right, this next fragrance is from the brand of Bond No. 9, another gourmand, one of my favorite genres. Very, very unique gourmand fragrance from Bond No. 9. This is called Gold Street. This is one of the newer fragrances. And I love this stuff. Blueberry, leather, there's a salted caramel accord in here with suede and oak moss. This is fantastic. Man, the blueberry in the opening kind of reminds me, of course, of the blueberry that you get in Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street did have a few of these same notes. It had blueberry, it had suede, it had oak moss. So in a way, it kind of reminds you of that. But what really makes this fragrance so different is that salty, like caramel fudge accord that's in here. It is just absolutely fantastic. I love this fragrance. If you like gourmands, this is something that is definitely going to have you smelling different. I've worn this several times. I have gotten some compliments on this. It is a fragrance that is definitely going to get you noticed. And if you like a sweeter scent profile, it is one that is going to be very, very unique, primarily because of that salted caramel accord in here. I've never really smelled that before in a fragrance, but this one, it has it, and it really, really works. So check this one out. If you're looking to smell different or take your fragrance game, man, from an A to an F, try this one from Bond No. 9. This is called Gold Street. Nothing is promised to me and you. The next fragrance comes from the brand of Frederic Malle, and it is Promise. This is done by one of my favorite master perfumers, Dominique Robillon. Promise, man. Apple, Cypriol, rose, patchouli, and Sapphire. Man, this is fantastic. There is no oud in here, allegedly. Somehow Ropion created this oud-like accord with Cypriol and some other notes in here. Anyway, that's kind of a backstory to the most important thing, that this smells amazing. Nobody else is gonna smell like it when you're wearing this. Crisp, kind of green apple accord in the opening is really what won me over with this fragrance. So good. Now this came from the Desert Gem collection of Frederic Malle, and honestly, this is the most affordable one. The rest of them, the Moon, the Night, the Dawn, all start at about $900 and go up. And I actually saw this on FragranceNet for about $250, $300. So still, it's fantastic. You're definitely going to stand out wearing a fragrance like this. This is amazing perfumery. So check this one out from the brand of Frederic Malle. This one is called Promise. All right, another fragrance that'll really help you step your game up and smell different. This one comes from the brand of MFK Mason Francis Kurkdjian. I don't know why many people have talked about this. I don't know if it was because, it is because it's not as accessible as some other fragrances, but man, if you love amber, you gotta try this one out. Gotta get your nose on it. This one's called Reflets d'Ambre. Reflets d'Ambre. And what you're gonna get here is, of course, amber, jasmine, pink pepper, vanilla, labdanum, and patchouli are kind of what make up the amber accord here. And again, the amber is kind of offset by this kind of indolic jasmine note, which is supported by the pink pepper in here. This thing is really, really good. It smells different from most of the ambers that I have because of that jasmine note in here that you get in the opening. But when it dries down, it is such a good, buttery, smooth amber note. Stuff is fantastic. So this is one I highly recommend you guys check out, especially your amber lovers, from Mason Francis Kurkdjian. Again, I haven't heard many people at all talk about this fragrance, if anybody, that I can think about the top of my head besides me. Amber lovers, thank me later. Do yourself a favor. Try to find a bottle of this. Again, off the top of my head, I don't know how accessible it is, but it's a fantastic one from MFK. Again, check this one out. It's called Reflets d'Ambre. All right, guys, this next fragrance is one that comes from one of my favorite niche brands. I've really been on this brand, hard a lot lately. Pause. But this brand is the brand of Roja Parfums, and this one is called Parfums de la Nuit, number 3. This gorgeous presentation. Look at the bottle, man. Stuff is just great. Presentation, everything is fantastic. Rose, Artemisia, leather, amber, patchouli. Some of the main notes in this. Look at this sprayer. Roja. Roja needs to stop it in this amazing composition. This is beyond good. This is a part of the Parfums de la Nuit collection. I did a video about this collection. If you haven't seen it, I'll make sure I link it. Those 3 fragrances collectively in that collection are the sexiest fragrance collection that I've ever put my nose on. This is the most unique of the 3 when you compare 1 and 2 and 3 now. Well, I want to be clear, 2 is still my favorite, but this is such a unique fragrance. It's so sexy. Oh man, it's one you just gotta put your nose on. You wanna smell luxurious and you wanna smell sexy at the same time and stand out. That's why I recommend this fragrance. Now, in this particular presentation, it has been discontinued, although there are some on the market. If you're into it, I would get it before it's gone, because they've kind of switched some of the collections from the brand right now. This particular fragrance has moved to the Prestige collection with fragrances that were formerly in the Haute Luxe collection. But anyway, amazing fragrance with rose, leather, and Artemisia as some of the main notes. Get your nose on this. This is some sexy juice right here. Parfums de la Nuit, number 3. I don't have words for it. All right, guys, the next fragrance up is another one that's gonna be great for the hot weather, specifically summer. Again, a brand that, to my knowledge, me and maybe only one other person in the world talked about this brand. It's the brand of Profumum Roma. This is called Acqua Di Sale. Acqua Di Sale. Man, fantastic stuff. Ambergris, seaweed, myrtle, and cedarwood are some of the main notes. And you talk about something that's like an authentic, you know, seaweed, sea salty, marine fragrance. This is one of the most authentic I've ever smelled. Yeah, this stuff is good, man. Yeah, the seaweed here gives this really, really, like I said, photorealistic marine kind of feel to the fragrance with the myrtle coming in there as well. Like I said, this smells like you are seaside. It literally smells like you're seaside with this one right here. Yep, it dries down nice and woody. There's kind of a herbal nuance in here that's kind of provided from the note of myrtle. And like I said, the ambergris, definitely one that you find that oceanic or marine type fragrances. This is fantastic. Very photorealistic, oceanic, seaweed, seaside kind of fragrance scent profile. Man, up your fragrance game for the summertime, fellas. Check this one out from Profumum Roma. This is called Acqua Di Sale. Now, a lot of these fragrances, a lot of you may not have heard about, or they're not talked about a lot, but this next one is, or at least it's talked about a lot from me, but I still had to include it here because it is definitely a fragrance that'll take you immediately from F to A, from Boadicea to Victoria's Blue Sapphire. Blue Sapphire. All right, what did you get here is lemon, you get some marigold, chamomile, rose, and a little bit of oud. Again, candy, lemon heads up top. Again, you get the marigold in here. It's gonna give a little bit of a sweet nuance. And I really think those are the notes that are kind of working, in my humble opinion, kind of in combination here to give you that kind of candied, you know, lemon citrus kind of thing here. Oh, this stuff is fantastic, man. The herbal nuances you get from the chamomile. And of course, it's primarily kind of considered a rose oud fragrance, although there's so much more going on outside of that. One of my absolute favorite fragrances in my entire collection. And obviously that's saying a lot because I have quite a few fragrances, but this is still one that's at the top of my list. So if you can't get a full bottle, get a sample, check it out, see if it works for you. It definitely works for me. One of my favorite fragrances in my collection. And again, this one will definitely help you stand out and take that fragrance game from F to A on one test. This one is called Blue Sapphire from Boadicea to Victoria's. One of my absolute favorite fragrances from this entire range. And this is a house that I have a lot of fragrances from, the brand of Amouage. Man, I love this stuff, Journey Man. Woo, this is good. This is one of my favorite bottles in my entire collection. Sichuan pepper, tobacco, tonka bean, and incense are some of the main notes. This is fantastic. Middle Eastern driven fragrance, of course, what the brand of Amouage is all about. And this is one of those fragrances where I blind bought it because when I saw the notes, I was pretty confident I was gonna like it. Very spicy opening with the Sichuan pepper. The Sichuan pepper makes you think of the color red, just kind of like the bottle, which is something I love about it. And of course, the dry down is really all about the tonka bean, really in the tobacco and that incense that kind of lays in the background throughout the duration of this fragrance and really gives it its Middle Eastern flair. This stuff is amazing. So do yourself a favor and check it out. This is one I have a backup bottle of because I will always have this in my collection. I love this fragrance. I actually did a review of this fragrance a long time ago. But it's one that I highly recommend you check out, especially if you like tobacco and you love tonka and don't mind a fragrance that has that Middle Eastern flair to it. This is a must try from the brand of Amouage. Check this one out, guys, Journey Man. All right, guys, and last but not least, I have been singing the praises of this fragrance for a long time. It is one of my most complimented fragrances, like per wear, in my entire collection. It is a sweeter scent profile, so I will say you have to like sweet fragrances, but gee, man, this stuff is fantastic. From Electimuss, Mercurial Cashmere. Man, this is amazing. Iris, tuberose, caramel, vanilla, and tonka bean. Now, so that's the thing that for some guys may kind of throw them off because not a lot of guys like tuberose, because tuberose, for the most part, is a feminine note that's found in a lot of feminine fragrances per se. But it is blended so well here with the tuberose. The iris really offsets it, you know, so it's not You didn't give you too much tuberose, so it's not over the top floral. But you get a lot of sweetness in here, which is really the ultimate neutralizer in this fragrance. The sweetness of caramel, tonka bean, just fantastic. Again, this fragrance gets a lot of compliments when I wear it. Definitely a fragrance that will help you stand out. There's not many things on the market that smells anything like this fragrance. Again, that combination of the floral, tuberose and iris makes it powdery and floral and sexy, and then those sweet notes that come in and envelop those two notes as it starts to dry down. The stuff is fantastic, man. Just do yourself a favor and check it out from the brand of Electimuss. Seriously, one of my little secret weapons, Mercurial Cashmere. But that is it, guys. That is my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today. What are some fragrances you have that you would recommend to some guys out there? Take your fragrance game from an F, to an A. Now stop wearing the norm all the time. It's cool to have your Sauvages, your Ventuses, and things of that nature, which are very popular. But get some stuff that's unique. It's going to help you stand out. What are some fragrances you have that kind of fit that category? I would love to hear from you guys down in the comment section. And as always, of course, I sincerely appreciate you guys' time. I appreciate your attention to these videos as well. You don't have to watch, but you do. I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to take a few moments out to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use the information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darian on the BowTie Fragrance Guy. Looking good and smelling great is what we do on this side, man. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, catch you on the flip side. Peace.